we glorify being busy and wear exhaustion like a badge of honor, and still wonder why our focus, creativity, and health are suffering. The truth is, sleep isn't a luxury. It's the most powerful performance tool we have. A recent sleep study conducted by Discovery found that poor sleep is linked to a 22% higher risk of death, among other serious health risks. Today on Vital Signs, I'm joined by Dr. Mosima Mabunda, Chief Clinical Officer at Vitality, to unpack what the data really reveals about the link between sleep, health, longevity, and high performance. Dr. Mabunda, welcome to Vital Signs.
Thank you for having me, Nikki.
Why is sleep still the hardest thing for all of us to really get a handle on?
I think I'll start by saying our modern lifestyles are not designed to support good sleep habits. So I think that's what makes it hard. But I think the second thing, and we've realized this following the launch of the Sleep Factor report, is limited awareness. I think even though we know that sleep is important, many people actually underestimated how foundational sleep is to their health and well-being, and therefore in structuring their lives and focusing on healthy lifestyles, people will talk about how they're buying healthier foods and how they're going to exercise. Sleep was just not part of that conversation. So a combination of lifestyles that are not designed to automatically support sleep and people not being acutely aware of just how foundational sleep is has led to sleep just being the last thing that happens when you've done everything else.
In an industry where prevention is key, so we prevent getting sick by taking action, how is sleep considered preventative healthcare? What does it do?
So sleep, I mentioned, is foundational for health, right? If you think about what happens during sleep in simplistic terms, it repairs our bodies, it restores our minds, it regulates our hormones. It's almost like, I don't want to use the car terms, but I'll use it. It's almost like you're servicing your body.
Exactly.
And you need to service your body every night so that it can function well. And we know that over a period of time, if you have poor sleep, and by poor sleep, I mean you have a low duration of sleep, you're sleeping fewer hours, your sleep schedule is irregular, and you get in poor quality sleep, we know that over time that is associated with a higher risk of things like diabetes. Like our data showed that at least 70% likelihood of getting diabetes, 20% risk of having severe depression symptoms, and many more. So if you don't allow your body that opportunity to restore and refresh and recuperate so you can function optimally, over time that compounds and actually puts you at risk of getting conditions. So it is preventative in the sense that if you prioritize sleep and you are regular, and by regular I mean you sleep within at least an hour of your usual sleep start time. If your sleep start time usually is 9:30 where you fall asleep, any time 30 minutes on either side, like 9 to 10 p.m., that is still fine, and you make sure you get 7 hours on a daily basis. That will allow your body to actually function optimally and reduce your risk of getting diseases. So that's how it's preventative. It's almost like servicing your car to prevent or minimize the likelihood of actually getting unfortunate events with your car.
How does sleep lead to, or poor sleep, or actually, how much sleep is too little sleep? Let's start with that.
So our data showed that individuals that sleep 7 hours and are regular with their sleep, those are the individuals that reap the best health outcomes. And I think it's important for people to realize that sleep is individual. Every individual is different, but however, we definitely start to see a heightened increase in health risks for individuals that sleep less than 6 hours. And we also equally see on the other side heightened high claims for those individuals that sleep above 9 hours. So I would say our data shows the sweet spot seems to be 7 hours of sleep, but sleep is more than duration. It's important to make sure that your sleep is regular. Regularity is actually even more powerful, and that for me is the recipe.
And that's, that's across the board, consistency in everything, whether it's exercise, no matter what you do, if we're consistent, we reap the rewards. Why do you think poor sleep quality is so connected to mental health issues?
So because when you're sleeping and you go through the stages, because when we talk about sleep quality in our world, we talk about the stages of sleep, your deep and your REM sleep. That's when the body actually does the work. So if the body doesn't do the work, then the things that we speak about will manifest. So it is important that you don't just get the hours, but you spend your day. I think in the Sleep Factor report, we speak about sleep hygiene factors. And we talk about the concept that sleep starts the minute you wake up, the timing of your exercise, getting sunlight in the day early in the morning, the timing of your meals, etc., and your wind down routine. All of those things allow you to actually fall asleep, but not just fall asleep, have a good quality sleep. Because if you don't get the quality, you miss out on all of those adjustments we mentioned in the body that ultimately reduce your risk of diseases. So it's not enough to just sleep, it's important to actually know how well you've slept.
Yeah, I mean, we all get a sense of whether or not we've slept well, but I think a lot of people don't really understand what quality sleep feels like, or we lose that feeling. How do you really measure quality sleep?
I think the best thing for any individual to actually do as a proxy is when you wake up, ask yourself whether you are feeling refreshed. Are you satisfied with your sleep? I think there are moments when you wake up and you're like, oh my God, like I'm not feeling great.
Yeah.
But there are moments when you wake up, if you wake up, you're feeling refreshed. And as you go through your day, you're actually functioning in top form. You're not getting drowsy and needing caffeine and other stimulants to get you through the day and needing to nap. Then you know your sleep did what it needed to do.
Yeah.
But if you're waking up, regardless of how many hours you think you slept, and you're not feeling satisfied and you don't feel like your sleep was refreshing, it means you're unlikely to have gotten sufficient quality of sleep. Yeah.
How do we get companies to reevaluate the importance of downtime for employees? How do we make it important?
So I think since we launched the Sleep Factor report, actually, our organization, we've been approached a lot by organizations that say, what does this mean for organizations? So I feel like we're privileged to live in an era where well-being for individuals and organization is topical. And I'm finding that organizations are actually keen to look at how they can bolster their corporate well-being programs to actually incorporate sleep. But for me, the easiest, and I'll speak maybe from the experience in terms of how we do it, we incorporate sleep within the Vitality program. And through that, by giving individuals access to tracking options, like you can get a fully funded Oura Ring, or you can track with your wearable device. We also, our teams are developing a mobile phone app that will allow people to track. So by having a program like that, similar to that, you actually start to elevate sleep and you bring the facts into the table, because only when you have the data are you able to start tailoring interventions. It's not just hypothetical. So for me, having data-based or evidence-based well-being programs that focus on the right pillars, that surface the right insights to allow organizations to know where they stand so that they can actually intervene is even more important. And then the policies, etc., that support that kind of lifestyle and well-being would follow.
Yeah, it's such an important metric, and it's great that in this day and age we've got access to this information. And you know, carrying out a study like that, there's so many people involved. There were so many candidates involved that it's one of the most solid sleep studies ever conducted worldwide. So congratulations on that.
No, I mean, thank you. Our teams were actually saying we have over 105,000 individuals that tracked and 47 million sleep nights. I think that's more than any other organization that's actually published sleep insights. So really, yeah, we don't take that privilege for granted.
Yes. Dr. Mabunda, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. If you're serious about peak performance, stop treating sleep like a soft skill. As Dr. Mabunda has demonstrated, recovery is not time wasted. It's an investment in sharper thinking, strong leadership, and a longer health span. Sleeping better may in fact be the smartest move you can make to improve productivity and become an overall nicer person. I'm Nikki Robertson, and thank you for joining me today on Vital Signs, the business of working well.